Hi everybody, and welcome to the post-interview with Dennis Grounds, our Holistic Prosperity Featured Healer of the Month. We just finished a great webinar on the 4 truths to creating healthy body, mind, and spirit with abundance. So I just wanted to recap some of the things that Dennis taught us in today's class. Could you give us the main points about your webinar and what you really want people to get out of what you're offering?
Sure, yeah, thank you, and thank you again, Brooke, for having me here. It's a pleasure, and just appreciate all of your work in getting the message out there of what I do. You know, the basic foundation of what I really want to tell people is that, 2 things. One is you have a body, you have a mind, and there's an inner knowing or a spirit, whatever you want to define that as. There's something inside of you that has a way of wanting to guide us in life. When all 3 of those things are operating as one, life is effortless, and it seems that we can just move through life with creating more of what we want in such a way of abundance. That's why I call it the mind, body, spirit, with abundance. We can have more from and it's not about having more, but it's so much just about firing, coming from more. Like I say, firing from your all cylinders. Like your mind is just firing at its potential, and your body is in its healthiest and strongest state to support whatever it is that you're doing. And then there's that spirit, that part of you that you just are so clear, and you feel so certain and clear of where you are and the choices that you're making. You don't question yourself. So that's the first thing. All 3 of those working together. And next is, it's not so much that do it my way, do it your way. Figure out a way that works for you. You could go out there and find so many different ways of gurus and people telling you how to do this and do that and the da-da-da. And you can. There's nothing wrong with that. And find your way. What way works best for you? That's what I've done my whole life. I just keep finding my way, and it just really allows me to I just feel more freedom when I can do that.
Great. So there was something that came up, tapping into the body, mind, spirit and doing it your way. This is all great, but I think what I personally, and maybe a lot of people run into is, yes, I want to do it my way. Of course, I want all of these things working in my life with body, mind, spirit. But then there's this other side. Could you talk to us about those blocks and how you overcome those blocks?
What other sides are you referring to?
Well, the other side of the fear activating, or, well, I don't know if I can do that, or, like really just not being able to step into it completely.
Great. Well, first of all, I have the same fears and the same blocks. There's nothing that I haven't gone through that you aren't going through yourself, or any of those conversations that you feel are limiting or blocking you. I've got them too. So what I have found is just being conscious of those blocks and finally hearing them is step 1. Oftentimes those blocks are there and we don't even know it, and they just keep running. It's like a tape that keeps running over and over and over, and we can't see it, we can't hear it, we can't distinguish it. So if you can just bring your awareness more into, oh wow, I've got a block now, I feel some resistance around starting my next project, or losing that weight, or writing my book, or creating my webinar. Just notice that, okay, first of all, acknowledge that. And then, fear, it's funny, fear seems like a dirty word. It's a 4-letter dirty word. Fear either motivates us or it paralyzes us. And what I say about fear is it's false evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. Fear. So it's either going to motivate you or it's going to paralyze you. I like to use, I do both. I get motivated and I get paralyzed by my fear. Keep distinguishing your fear, what's false.
Great.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So on that, you had a lot of talk story, and you related a lot of this to your life and how you've overcome those fears and those blocks and things. Would you be able to share with us some of your motivations, some of your overcoming of how you've worked through those blocks?
Yeah. You know, what I'll share with you is not something tangible. And for me, it's courage and faith. You know, I can honestly say that one of the gifts that I was born with is that I have the gift of courage and the gift of faith. And I don't think that's something tangible we could put in a bottle and say, hey, it's just something inside of me that I have that I feel courageous and that I faith like it's going to work out and that I'm going to be taken care of, or I'm going to be able to do it. That doesn't mean that I don't go through even though I have that, I still go through, down the rabbit hole and I still come up against those blocks. So here's what I would say. If you can just be willing to have courage and faith, even if you're like, I don't know, just say, all right, I'm willing and I'm open to have courage and faith. And if you just say that mantra every day for like the next 2 weeks, maybe more, you'll notice things start to shift. You'll notice a difference in the way you relate to fear, because you now actually have told yourself that you're actually open to having courage and faith. So that's a little tool practical tool that you could use.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, so if you guys want to know more about Dennis Grounds, he's got a lot of up-and-coming webinars. You can check out the webinar today. It's going to be available for 30 days. I want to emphasize what's up and coming. This is the Yes You Can. This is something that Dennis is creating in webinar world. So I encourage each of you guys to check it out. It's a 9-part series, and it's open for a limited time. Can you explain to us what we're going to be learning?
Yeah, as Brooke just said, it's a 9-part series. So there's part 1, part 2, part 3. There's 3 classes in each series, so 1 hour long, right? And in each series, or each part, it's broken down, and these are just some of the things you'll learn how to do. Learn how to quieten the mind chatter. We'll go over breath work. We'll get you out of your comfort zone. We'll distinguish your comfort zone. And then we'll get you out into the unknown, or any goals or dreams that you're wanting to create for yourself. We'll show you how to do that. I also come up with some core basic exercises. These are exercises I've been working with people for the last 28 years and teaching them how to connect to their core, and also have produced some pretty profound results with their body. And mostly it's just about getting them connected to their body. It's not so much about losing weight, getting big muscles. It's not so much about that. You can achieve that, but it's really about connecting to your body in a really safe and easy way. Breaking cycles and patterns. We all have patterns that we keep creating. We keep drawing in these same relationships over and over, and we're like, gosh, why did I draw another loser? How do I keep being a loser, drawer? So like, how do I get out of that? So we'll show you. I'll show you. It's a really easy tool I have that gives you a new doorway and new access to create the winner. Yeah. And then, of course, we'll learn to teach you how to create a roadmap. So if you're wanting to get from point A to point B, how do you get there and how do you achieve your goals? So be accountable and in structure, we put that in there. And there's a whole lot more. There's stuff in there that you're going to get that you don't even know you're going to get.
Great, great.
Yeah.
I encourage each of you guys, keep touch with this guy. He is amazing. I've been working with him. He's been transforming me completely. He's got inspiration and motivation and stories. He knows what's up. Like if you guys are having problems or whatever, he'll help you to work through it. He sees the other side. So I thank you very, very much for allowing us this time with you on the webinar, and for being a part of this process, and for being an amazing, amazing individual.
Thank you, Brooke. So heartfelt. Thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you all for just taking this time to get to know me. And I hope to see you in one of my webinars. It'll be my pleasure.
Until next month.